Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It has been a while since we have been together. I've been traveling quite a bit and Mother Mary has me here to do some more sharing with you, and this time it's the Marys. I would say it's the Marys, it's the energy of Mary. Which is encapsulated in the resonance of all names that carry that root. And so I'm just giving thanks to the Marys for being present with me as I move through these new wisdoms that are coming to me that I'm here to share with you. So she wants me to start today, Mother Mary wants me to start today by talking about the power of water and the living intelligence of water, and what does that even mean, and why is that important? Yeah, so that's where we're going to begin. And so I want you to think of this knowing, this fact that we are beings of water. Like, our bodies have a significant amount of water in them, and when we are fully hydrated, we are, we can be up to like 95% water, when we are at our fullest. So we are beings of water, and there's a lot of waters that are moving and working in our biological processes. Like, just think of our blood. It's primarily water. You have the endocrine system, primarily water. You have the fascia system now being shown as being highly part of water, surrounding all of our cells, and all of the water that is communicating through our sweat and our tears and our saliva and urine and digestive processes. Like, it's just water is part of us. We are water. We are water with this beautiful mineral casing around us that's working in this organic process together. It's so beautiful. So Mother Mary wants me to describe this part of water, this sacred relationship to our beingness, as being like a key foundation of what could be known as teachings of the living waters, or even like the teachings of the Chalice, which is teachings on how to be a vessel of light to flow the living waters through you in order to gather the sensation, the feeling, the experience of this physical reality that we are co-creating together with our electrical currents. So we have water. It's an essential part of our biological processes, and we know this intrinsically. We get thirsty, and I'm going to pour some water now from my beautiful vessel here and into my glass because I'm thirsty. And that's my body saying, like, hey, I would like to be more hydrated. So when we become dehydrated, our body starts to stress, and it gets less coherent, becomes less coherent, because there's more friction, like literally more friction in the system. And so the processes that need to be isolated are less isolated. They're getting noise and feedback and vibration from other processes happening, and it becomes confusing. Your system becomes a bit confused. That's dehydration in general, and we feel agitation in our body whenever we become dehydrated. The other aspect of water and like the planet Earth and where we are living our relationship to life here is that we are on a water planet. And so Earth is a blue planet. We are a water planet, and if you look at the planet, it's has vast amount of water, and it is what is making up, our atmosphere. It's part of that. It's part of all of life here. Very, very central to all of life on Earth. We are a water planet, and so not only are we water, but also our environment is water. The air contains water. We're drinking water. We're bathing in water. We're essentially moving around in water. So not only is water a conduit for all life, it also, like within life itself, it is a conduit for all life in atmosphere as well, which is just, I mean, how can you not be in love with water? How can you not revere water when you know that this is how intimate and transparent our relationship is with water? You know, the waters of the earth do not evaporate off of the planet. They keep recycling through the water cycle, and we are in relationship to this water, to the waters of earth. Just as the water cycle recycles on earth, also the soil and mineral cycle on the earth is continuously recycling. So you can think of our bodies as the soil and mineral portion. If we're going to think of our bodies kind of as this micro cosm of the earth itself, like this micro version of the earth itself, the body, the physical body, is this part of this soil. Is truly part of this soil cycle. Hello for those chiming in live. So we have the water cycle, and then we have the soil cycle, which is happening on Earth. And the soil cycle is, you know, how rocks are formed through the soil and then moved, or that, you know, the loose soil is moved by air, water brings it into sediment and then becomes rocks, and then over time the water evaporates, and then the air takes the dust, and again it goes through the air and then back into the water and then into the earth where it dries and is heated, and there's this cycle. And as our body is released back to the earth, we become part of that cycle. While we are up and moving around, we are really part of the water cycle as humans. And so, and yes, the soil and mineral cycle as we filter minerals through our bodies, but we can really feel it more with the water when we're conscious and not part of the earth, when we have our bodies actually for ourselves. So everything's being recycled on earth. The water's never leaving. The water is working with the soil and minerals to create our physical bodies and to create our physical reality, to create all of life on earth. And that's pretty miraculous. And so the intelligence that's living in water, that knows how to create life, that is carrying the wisdom that communicates with the minerals what is to happen as life as life flows. This wisdom is what I would call, you know, the wisdom in living water, in the living waters, that is in frequency, in coherence with the natural frequency, or the frequency of Gaia herself, and outside of human control or human distortion. Okay, so that's how I would describe living waters, is the waters that is alive in coherence with Mother Earth's frequency, with Mother Earth's radiance, outside of human free will, like the free will of humans to distort its frequency in order to create, like to, you know, alter the environment around us in order to witness life in a new way. So that is how I would describe living waters. And you can see it because where water is moving, life is being born, you know. And when we see waters, not flowing clean, not flowing freely, the water becomes stagnant, and the life around it begins to suffer. It begins to kind of eat itself or degenerate. And I mean, it's all part of the cycles of water and soil and minerals on earth. But, you know, we are playing a part because we can play and distort the vibration and the frequency of how water is moving. So living waters is a conduit for all life. It's carrying this ancient wisdom of the cycles of earth, of the soil cycles, of the mineral cycles of earth, and has been here since the beginning. So there's this deep wisdom that's held within the structural knowing of water, and it's playing out in our bodies as it's playing its role within the creation and inspiration for our beings. You can even think that, you can even bring it to when we are being formed in the womb. The womb is full of a sack of water, and in that water contains the information that is needed to help incubate the growth of a human body or any sort of living, mammaled body. The womb has water in it, and this water is informing and providing a particular type of mineral environment for the growth of the body, which is pretty spectacular and so powerful. So powerful. So we're formed in water. Not only are we mostly made of water, not only is our environment full of water, not only is water on Earth constantly moving through cycles, constantly moving, but it is also how we actually did physically form. And it is how within these pockets of water that life is forming consistently. And our bones were, created from the minerals within the water of the womb. It's just so not only poetic, but true. And that's what I would call the living waters, is waters that is coherent with this, with the resonance of its own sovereignty, basically, which is full. Full. Another way of thinking of the living waters that has come to me is the knowing that the waters carry this like vast, basically library of wisdom across all ages of Earth's existence. And it's flowing in me, it is me, it's made me, it's part of me, and I am part of it. And so I can access it, I can work with it, I can listen to it. And essentially, it is the Akashic record of Gaia herself, of her experiential, sensational experience of becoming, and our bodies are part of that, and we are recycled into her physical wisdom over and over again, into her carbon-based DNA over and over again, and as we manifest new bodies, and more people come and surrender back into her. And so like as we experience our life here on Earth, we're offering such a great, like, we are here to offer that experience back to the Earth's Akash, and it's carried in the soil and the water, in the minerals and the water of Earth. But water is carrying this very key part, because water was what informed the minerals on how to bring it all together. It's the way that the Magdalenas explain it to me, in a way that's like very layman's terms that you would understand. Like, the water has the recipe for life. And the minerals are the ingredients, and so ta-da, living waters. Now, because it's so intelligent and we can access the Akash, we can access all of this wisdom through interacting with water, we can work with it in all sorts of ways, because it comes into our bodies and it is in our bodies already. So when you speak to water, when you send a vibration into water, it captures this structure and it listens to you, and it wants to respond. It wants to have a relationship to you, and it already is in relationship to you. And as we come into conscious awareness of water having its own consciousness, its own living wisdom of understanding, we can choose willfully to open our bodies to hear it and to work with it. And so the next thing that the Marys want me to talk about is how can we use this understanding that water has this deep wisdom, this deep earthly wisdom for us. How can we hear it? How can we work with it? Well, you can just literally speak to your water. You can, it's important to pick a high source quality water. If you can get a spring water or a distilled water first that is filtered, and I'm talking about like from a mountain spring, that's a great place, or from a clean well. straight out of the ground. As soon as the water starts moving through pipes and is treated and moved through factories and carried in plastic and all these things, it starts to lose its coherence with nature. It starts to become this idea of distorted by human hand water understanding. Whereas if sourcing or, creating your own kind of as close to nature-based frequency as possible is a great place to start. And then you can structure it. You can get structuring devices. I love the Aqua Energizer, of course. Link in my bio, but also like things like the Aqua Energizer instantly bring the frequency of the water back to nature's resonance, so that you can start to build like a base with the living waters already. So devices like the Aqua Energizer bring the water back to its original coherence or its original blueprint, which allows it to access all of the floors of the library instead of just the lower frequencies. I love the way the communication comes through me sometimes. So we can speak to it. Starting with natural, restructured, high quality water is very important. And so you're just going to speak to it and you're going to ask it to work for you. And you're going to even, so you can do that. You can be very specific with your words, like help me to understand what I'm not seeing around this situation. Ask it and then take a drink. And drink that water. And over time, you will come into resonance with the world that will bring you what you're asking for. The awareness will come, the emotions will release, the energy will move, things will start to flow around that specific request. And people would call us praying, commanding your truth, manifesting, these types of things. But you can speak to the water as if it is its own entity, as it is its own consciousness, that it is part of the living system that we are in, and ask it to communicate to very specific parts of who you are, and it will help to unlock that. Some people like to visualize injecting the water or illuminating the water with light. Whatever feels right for you. You do have chakras on your hands, and you can place it on your vessels and infuse it with your love, with your intention, light it up. Someone would say, and then the water is again then structured, and I'm saying structured, but like guided to operate and communicate with your waters around what needs to move, what needs to flow, how the water should be interacting in your body. So you can seek these like answers around self-growth, and you can also seek answers around your well-being, like asking the body to reveal what it needs for you, like for you to feed it, for you to become in coherence with your health, with your wellness, with your emotional well-being, with your spiritual well-being, and with your physical well-being. And so there's nothing fancy about it. That's the great thing, is that there's nothing fancy about asking water to start a relationship with you. You just start it. You just say, I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to acknowledge that you are full of living wisdom, and I'm here. Okay. Some tips. Okay. So we talked a little bit about having high quality water, clean, clear water to begin with. Then if you can structure it through a device like the Aqua Energizer, that is awesome, because that will vortex it into even more closer, like an even closer naturally resonant with earth frequency. You can structure your own water to nature by collecting it from nature directly, but also from infusing it with your own intention and love. Now, that process really has to do with how much you can believe in yourself, how much you can believe it's real. It's all about the power of the power of accepting your own power to do it, and then holding that knowing without doubt. So that's where the devices are helpful right now. Technologies are helping us bridge the gap between feeling like we understand and know and actually getting there. And so the device like the Aqua Energizer is something that will bring your water up to frequency. And there's different technologies for every person. So trust that whatever you're being called to, explore it. Like, is this for me? Does this feel true? And, if these things are feeling right, but you're not quite sure, give it a try and see how the subtle changes in your life may surface. So another tip is to carry your water, to be very specific about what water goes in your mouth, and even better, on your body. And so again, how are you removing toxins from your water? And also, how are you reigniting the living wisdom in your water once you are getting it? Holding or drinking water out of glass or from earthen vessels that humans have created, high potency, to keep the water at a good vibration, to keep the water's intention. Blue cobalt for me seems to be the most potent at holding the higher level frequencies, and also the balance of the water for a longer time. How am I measuring this? I'm measuring it with my own knowing, and also I'm using biogeometry and ways of reading subtle energy to help me affirm for myself that what I'm experiencing is true. So I use cobalt blue, and I think there's a link in my bio for the company that I just love. I really seek out high quality things to work with, because for me, this shift in consciousness really is about focusing on things that are going to last, that I'm going to hold on to. We are all moving away from wasteful consumerism, and so this again is part of honoring the waters and creating an environment that honors the living wisdom and intelligence of water, which is let's stop using throwaway plastic, people. Let's start making things that are here to last a long time and work in coherence with nature, rather than overcoming or conquering nature in some way, or trying to save nature. These things are developing and they're slowly coming to light. Now, for a long time, humans have been doing alchemy, and cobalt blue is one of the most ancient glasses that came, because it came from experimenting with iron, and it just has I'll get into teachings around the cobalt blue and the color frequency of blue and water in another session, because I feel like I'm getting long here. But so holding your water, your drinking water, paying attention to your drinking water, and intentionally having a relationship with it will elevate your experience of life, straight up. I encourage you to do it. Glass, earthenware. Some people are using copper to hold their glass or hold their water too. Again, explore what's right for you. But I would highly recommend staying away from things that are plastic, or things like that. And if you have questions about any of this, please reach out to me, because I obviously really love talking about it. So let's just take a minute, and if you have a drink of water, go get it, or let's drink a glass of water together. Let's just thank the holy waters of this planet for offering us this blessing of life and the experience and the chance to experience this physical reality. I want to extend my gratitude to water and to all of its living wisdom for enabling my life to be full and fluid and fun. May we all be blessed. May the waters of earth bless us, and may this water that we drink together travel to all of the places within us that need healing, and open us to be compassionate, empathetic, and peace cultivating citizens of the one body together. Cheers. I can't wait to share more about cultivating this more sacred connection to the living waters of earth with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And